Hi everyone, hope you guys are doing really well. This is day one of storytelling. A little bit of time you have here with me and you get to know me a bit better, and I really wanted to share some stories from my life. And maybe you watched the video from yesterday where I announced that I go now for 7 days everyday life and tell a story of my life. And yeah, today is all about making the impossible possible. And yes, I'm a person who makes things possible. And I reflected back on that because I always was different from an early age on. I was always different. I always chose a different path. And that led me to a different life. And I was never the normal average person, really. So after high school, for example, I traveled to New Zealand, and that was my first time being overseas, and that exposed me to a whole different life. And first of all, I actually didn't think that it was possible for me to go to New Zealand because it was so expensive back then. And I remember, I think it was 2014 or so, after I finished my A-levels, my best friend and I, we wanted to go on a travel adventure, and she really wanted to go to New Zealand, and I actually always wanted to go to America. And New Zealand didn't really click with me. So what I did, I just went along, hi beautiful, hi Catherine, I'm just telling a story of my life. I'm doing 7 days of storytelling, so beautiful you're here. Anyway, so I went to New Zealand with my best friend, and I was around 18. And first of all, I didn't think that it was possible for me to go to New Zealand because I didn't really have much income. My family was really poor, and I just had this dream of traveling the world. And I just thought, how I'm gonna work this out? I had really no clue. But then before we went to New Zealand, I kind of brainstormed, okay, what can I do to make this dream possible? How can I make my dream of traveling the world possible? So what I did is I applied for so many jobs I was just hoping that they accept me, and I will have a job to finance my whole New Zealand trip. And then at the end of the day, I think it was coming really close to to the point where we decided we wanted to fly to New Zealand, but I actually didn't have enough money. And then suddenly I got accepted into a holiday job working for Mercedes-Benz. And I never thought it could be possible for me. Because Mercedes-Benz, it's like a really rich company in Germany. And I was really surprised that they accepted me as a holiday worker, because also my grades weren't the best ever. And so suddenly I got accepted to Mercedes-Benz. And I knew straight away, oh my God, with the money from Mercedes-Benz, I could finance my whole New Zealand trip, because you get paid really well at Mercedes-Benz. So I worked for Mercedes-Benz for a month, and I could finance my whole New Zealand trip. It was mind-blowing. And then suddenly money was coming in from like different resources. For example, my grandma gave me money, my dad suddenly gave me money from somewhere, and I was just like, oh my God, this is actually possible. And for those who know me, and hi Nicole, thanks for watching. For those who know me, hi Jackie, good to see you here. Yeah, and for those who know a bit of my past and my background, I never had enough money in my life, especially my family. As I said, we were really poor. So for me, it was absolutely mind-blowing that I could finance, hi Nicole, that I could finance the trip to New Zealand. to the end of the world. And I think in 2014 we traveled with an organization, and it was so expensive. I think it was like 2,000 or 3,000 euros, which is in Australian dollars, maybe 5,000 to 6,000 Australian dollars. It was, oh my God, it was absolutely expensive. I would never recommend anyone to go with an organization, by the way, if you want to do work and travel. Always plan it yourself. You will really save so much money. Anyway, so I could finance my whole trip to New Zealand. I flew to New Zealand, and I made the impossible possible. And this sentence, or this energy followed me through my whole life, because as I said, I never did what the normal average person did in their lives. So after my New Zealand trip, I decided to even travel more with my partner that I met in New Zealand. And then we traveled for 6 months Europe. And that was another mind-blowing thing, because we didn't have much money back then either. I think we wanted to travel whole Europe, or wanted to do like a really big circle around Europe, starting from Germany, just with 2,000 euros, and we wanted to travel for about like 6 months. So you would think, oh my God, this is not possible. Like you spent so much money on accommodation, on food, on everything. But you know what? We made it possible. And this is something which blew my mind as well, that we made the impossible possible. So we traveled for 6 months, whole Europe, with 2,000 euros. And yeah, there were some, traveling hacks that we used to save lots of money. So basically what we did is that we never paid accommodation. I think we paid once or twice accommodation on a whole Europe trip. But apart from that, we never paid any penny on accommodation. And that was, oh my God, how is this possible? When you think about it, how is that possible? You travel without spending money for accommodation. And this is the traveling hack ever. So what I did back then, because my brain is always really solution-based, and I search for, opportunities. That's just how my mind works. If there's a challenge, if there's a problem, my brain goes like, what can we do to solve this problem? And I almost like it. I like to solve problems. And I love to find solutions. So what I did is, okay, we just have 2,000 euros in our bank account. Each person had 2,000 euros, so all in all we had 4,000 euros, which is actually quite good. So what I did is, okay, what can I do to save as much money as possible? And I knew from New Zealand that there are websites called Couchsurfing, where you can actually stay for free at someone else's place. And it's just a culture exchange. So that's what we did, basically. For 6 months, we did couchsurfing all around Europe. And we applied for places, and people accepted us. We did couchsurfing in, I think in Munich. We started in Munich. Then we went to Austria. So I think we did couchsurfing in Salzburg. Then I think we traveled to Romania. We did couchsurfing in Romania. We did couchsurfing. What else did we do? From Romania we went to Turkey. We did couchsurfing in Turkey. Then we went to, I think, Greece. We did couchsurfing in Greece. Greece. I think then we took the ferry to Italy. Then we went to Italy. We couchsurfed all the way Italy. Then south of France. Then we went to Spain, couchsurfed in Spain. Then we went to the south of Spain. Then we went with a ferry to Morocco, which was, oh my God, Morocco. Hi Sylvia. Mwah. Hi, lovely. So nice to see you here. Yeah, so then we went to Morocco. Oh my God, Morocco. Oh, I love Morocco so much. Oh my God. It was such an awesome country, so different from every country that I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, so we cut surfed to Morocco. Then we went up to Portugal. And then we went to, I think, the eastern part of France. And we went up to Belgium, Netherlands, and back to Germany. 6 months Europe trip. But apart from couch surfing, we did couch surfing, but we also did something else. We used a website called Workaway, which was like woofing, maybe you know that, like working on organic farms. But Workaway is, it's even better because you can actually do anything. So I think in Austria, I taught a refugee German. That was a really cool job. And I think some babysitting jobs, so teaching German, teaching languages. I think we worked on a farm in Hungary as well for a week. That was awesome. It was really cool. In Romania, I think we did Workaway. And anyway, so I just wanted to expand here your brain a bit, that what you think is possible, or no, yeah, like that you maybe stretch your brain and think about things in your life which seem totally impossible for you. Like you can never reach that goal. For example, you want a really high income, 5K a month, and you just think, no, that's never possible for me. Never, ever. I want to invite you for a moment here to maybe dream here for a second. What if it's possible for you? What if this impossible thing could be possible for you? Just for 1 second, for one moment. Think about that. What if this thing you think you can never reach could be here in a day, tomorrow, straight away in front of your eyes? What if your desires can come true? What if you start to allow yourself to dream again? And I think that's the reason why I am how I am today, because my past proved to my present moment here right now, that impossible things are possible. And that someone came and paved the way for all the other people who thought it's impossible. And sometimes you just need a leader, you just need someone to follow. And if someone can pave this wonderful path for you, something in you gets activated and you actually start to believe in yourself. You start to believe in yourself again, that the impossible thing is possible for you. And I think there's so many other stories from my life that I can tell you that I made the impossible possible. For example, I wanted to work as a flight attendant. I think that was after my Europe trip. So I wanted to work as a flight attendant. I actually applied for studying at university, but that didn't work out for me really. And I think it's the best for me that it didn't happen, because the universe had something much bigger for me in store, or that universe wanted to provide for me something bigger, or I think you know what I mean. Anyway, so I wanted to become a flight attendant. I applied at Lufthansa, I applied at Germanwings, I applied, I think, at every flight company as you can imagine. And I just had this one dream of like, I want to become a flight attendant because I want to travel the world and I want to see more of the world, because I still had this travel bug in me. After my New Zealand trip, after my 6 months of Europe trip, I still wanted to travel. So, and I think it took me half a year, at least half a year, till I got accepted anywhere. So first I wanted to go to Lufthansa. I went there, but for some reason I didn't really like the vibe, and at the end they didn't accept my application. And then all the other flight companies, they didn't accept me, and I was like, okay, why is this happening to me? But you know, after a while I actually didn't care anymore. I got so much rejection, or it felt like rejection for me back then, that after a while I just didn't care anymore, and I thought, okay, maybe flight attendant is not really the thing that I'm supposed to be doing here. But I kept going to all the job interviews, and I think at the beginning when I applied for all these flight companies, there was this one flight company which really caught my eye, and it was called Condor. And maybe you know it. It's also called Thomas Cook, or it's part of the Thomas Cook Airlines. And I knew straight away, Condor. I want to be part of Condor, because they represented a part of me. And Condor was actually a family flight company. So they always flew to holiday destinations. And I wanted to work for them. I was like, oh my God, I want to go to the Dominican Republic. I want to go to all these wonderful destinations. And anyway, so I had a job interview with Condor. And it felt so aligned when I was there. I was just like, oh, it feels so good. And the job interview was so nice. I was really myself, and all the other people there, I just had a really good feeling about it. But still there was a part of me which doubted and which thought, oh no, this is still not possible for you, girl. But you won't believe it. So I left Condor, and I drove back home. 1 hour later, they called me and they said, Miss Mueller, we have a job opportunity here for you. Do you want to start in, I think, 3 weeks' time for the Condor flight attendant training? So it's going to start at the, 13th of January. And yes, we would love to have you on board. And I was just like sitting in my car, and I was like, what? Because part of me actually was thinking, no worries, Nicole, lots of love back. Thank you so much for watching the video. Anyway, so part of me was just blown away, because I just thought this is not possible. This is not possible. This is a dream. And that's when life feels like a dream. That's when life feels like a miracle. That's when you feel like life is a playground. It is, wow, you're making the impossible possible. But I think this is just because I kept on going. I kept going my path, and I didn't give up. I was always taking action. I always sent it out to the universe. I'm doing my best, and I keep on going no matter what. And you have a bigger picture for me. You have a bigger plan for me. You have something bigger in store for me. And I'm telling you this because I actually believe that every one of us here, who's watching here, has maybe this dream inside of them, or a calling. But they have so many fears, and maybe they failed so many times, so they might give up. But I want to tell you, if there's really something inside of you, like you want to travel the world, but you don't have enough money, educate yourself on how to travel on a cheap budget, because it is possible. It is possible. And that's something that I've embodied. I made the impossible possible. And impossible things, they are possible for you. But you have to start on believing in yourself again. That this is possible for you too. And all these things that I did in my life, becoming a flight attendant, traveling the world, flying to New Zealand, traveling on a cheap budget, living in Australia now, so living up road and having my own coaching business. These things are possible for you. These things are possible for you. So please let me know in the comments, is there something inside of you which is brewing? Maybe since years you have a desire to travel the world. You have a desire to create a business. You have a desire to be self-employed. What is it that you desire? But you never acted on it because you were so afraid of failing. And I want to tell you, anything is possible. And I'm giving you the permission today. I'm giving you the permission today to dream again. I'm giving you the permission today to dream big again, to go out of your comfort zone, to think big. And if it's possible for me, then it's possible for you. And this is how I'm gonna end my call today. So thank you so much for watching here today, beautiful souls. Leave me a comment down below. If you're watching the replay, #replay. This was my first day of storytelling. And yes, there's so much more to come. I'm sending you so much love. Believe in yourself. Anything is possible. And tell me your desires, tell me your dreams. Dream big again. Mwah. Love you so much.